Welcome back to the Culture of Currency, where we have some pretty cool news involving silver and gold that I thought I'd bring to you. And it really hit home, metaphorically speaking, as I got something in the mail that makes this all too real. So right here, you'll see a proposition ballot. We're going to look at proposition number 7. This is the state of Texas. The Texas legislature should establish authority within the Texas State Comptroller's Office to administer access to gold and silver through the Texas Bullion Depository for use as legal tender, yes or no. So what does this mean? Basically, if you live in the state of Texas, we have a couple of things to talk about here. One, it's saying that the Texas Bullion Depository, which already exists, it's in Leander, Texas, which is north of Austin. It's a 10-acre site there. They're offering here that if you were to vote yes and it becomes an issue, that it would be brought up, and if passed, that the legislature of Texas would write a bill stating basically that the comptroller, who, if you don't know what the comptroller is in Texas, the comptroller is like the state's cashier. They're supposed to receive, distribute, count, safeguard records. They allocate, they manage, and report the state's cash, right? So that's the comptroller's office, and obviously they have the Treasury Safekeeping Trust, which invests and manages and oversees over $50 billion in assets. So what they're saying is basically, if this were to go through, that the state comptroller would be able to administer access to gold and silver through the Texas Bullion Depository. The Texas Bullion Depository is where I could go and, let's say I have this silver right here, I could go and deposit it there. And it's, kind of like a bank where you'd be able to deposit your safekeepings. So they are a agency of the state. They offer liquidity on the scale of COMEX. They have 100% risk insurance through Lloyd's of London. And they're trying to create counterparty risk. So basically, that is something that they're trying to figure out and make it effective, which could be a good and bad thing. So many of us have heard the interview with the creator of this right here. This is a goldback, and this is a Wyoming goldback, as you can see. There's a company that makes these, and I don't remember the exact process, but basically this becomes a molecular bonding of gold to a printing sheet, and so you have a goldback. And so this is 1/1000th of a troy ounce, and there's different denominations, I believe, that go up to 50. But some states have adopted things like goldbacks as forms of currency. So if a merchant would like to, sell a 2 pounds of flour or whatever it is, you might hand them this, and then they hand you the flour, which is great. The problem being in Texas, and the creator of the goldback has stated this, that Texas does have giant interest in things like this. However, the scalability on this type of a state would be really hard, because Texas being one of the biggest states, not just geographically, but also through the amount of people, would cause some kind of an issue. So that is something that they might be looking to integrate, is a form of goldback, which is interesting. So if we had a goldback, this is a private company that makes this currently. Would the state basically have a government contract to make a state version of a goldback that is run through the state office for distribution? And would you have to go contact, a government official to get your hands on them? Which makes me wonder, are they also going to be tracking them like they do with standard purchases, where if I go basically to Lowe's with $50 cash and I buy something like a bunch of nails, and they hand me a receipt, that receipt is then trackable, and they can pull up camera footage and that type of thing, if need be. So it makes it to where it's not quite as invisible as it is now, where I can go to a silver store and then put this on the table. They hand me $135 or whatever it would cost, and then I walk out and there's no receipts, no proof of any transaction really. So I don't know what the general purposes, I'm hesitant just because I like to be skeptical, I guess, that there is possibly some negative things that could go wrong with this, but there's obviously a lot of possible good, as if this were engaged as a first step where the state recognizes the use of tangible assets like silver and gold as a representation of currency. Then does it get to a point, like I said, where you can get a Texas 50-cent piece that is a portion of silver that's minted? Does this mean that we're going to have state currencies and federal currencies? Does this mean that basically what we're saying is that every merchant will have the opportunity to accept gold and silver? I really don't know. It's very vaguely written right now. It basically is just saying that they'll have the authority to establish within the comptroller's office access to that depository. And so in the surface, what that makes me think is that because it's 100% insured, they'll do what banks do, where if I have $100,000 in a bank, the bank will basically through FDIC guarantee that if something happens, they'd have to pay up to $250,000 to cover that expense. But while my money is sitting in the bank, they're going to use it to invest and make money off of the money that I've put in it. So, and not give it to me, by the way. So basically, that is a possibility as well, that the comptroller's office will be able to access the Texas Bullion Depository to use as it sees fit, knowing that if I have $100,000 in gold in there, that would be a liability asset that would be guaranteed by Lloyd's of London and not necessarily fall on them if they made shoddy moves with that money. So I really don't know, and I'm not the expert on this stuff. I'm a world bullion coin guy, so I defer to you. You have watched many videos, probably more than I have as a collective. You have a much bigger expertise on this type of stuff as a collective than I do. So I really made this video hoping that you would tell me what you think that says and what the possibilities are. I'll read it again. Prop 7. The Texas legislature should establish authority. That's a scary word. Within the Texas State Comptroller's Office to administer access to gold and silver through the Texas Bullion Depository for use as legal tender. Obviously, that's a positive word. I just don't know. So I'm kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out on this. You let me know in the comments, because I'm honestly flying blind here. I am a Texas citizen, and so that being said, I might have to bring up some things about this, and I'd love to be able to talk to my representatives about this to see exactly what it is that they're looking to do. What does this mean in 5 years if it were to pass? What does it mean in 25 years, 50 years? What's the overall goal of a prop like this, and is it beneficial for the average person? Because some people, what they like is they like the ability to basically be their own bank, to go into a gold store, a silver store, and drop $8,000 for cash, go use the cash, and then go buy more of this to sit at their house. So I really don't know what the long term is, but please let me know what you think that reads, what you think that looks like now, and what will look like in a couple of years, and help me understand it, because obviously as of right now, I would say I understand it a 4 out of 10 and would really like to be knowledgeable about it. So this video was more for you to give input to me other than me to get input to you. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.